really grateful. I have done a lot to work on my mental health and change who I used to be into who I am now. And I can't help if people fall into that perception because it's easy. And I get it. But I won't let anybody hold me captive to my past and things that I have overcome.
You don't want me to expose how you were saying that you kicked her out and she went back to her mother's house? Not Mrs. Braxton, not Mrs. Singer with the sold out tour that JR also told me was flex. It was cap. She flexing. She don't have no sold out. Between me and you was his exact words. The tour not sold out. He said you was messy. He said you went back to your mother's house. He told me a lot of things that he shouldn't tell a stranger. I just met this man less than a week.
Tamar Braxton is out here spiraling and spiraling hard, and it's all allegedly because of her man, Jeremy Robinson, better known as JR. Anybody who watched this situation from day one could see the mess brewing. But Tamar was locked in so deep that nobody could tell her nothing about this dude. Now it's looking like JR switched up again and left Tamar hanging, and she is not taking this breakup quietly. She jumped online with a long, heated rant, dragging him like he owed her money, accusing him of using her and tossing her aside like she didn't mean a thing. And JR? He wasn't about to let her get the last word either. He fired back fast, exposing some wild claims about her that had the internet gasping and saying people were shook. This whole thing blew up so quick it felt like a live soap opera. So now everyone's asking, did JR cheat on Tamar again and did things get physical between them? Let's break this all down because this story has layers. If you've been keeping up with Tamar and JR from the jump, then you already know their relationship has been throwing out red flags like confetti at a block party. Actually, forget red flags. These were red banners flapping across the whole sky. Most folks already knew this wasn't ending with a fairy tale because they met on that reality show, Queen's Court. And let's be real, relationships started in front of cameras don't always survive once the lights go off. That alone had people side-eyeing the whole situation like, this about to get messy. But clearly, that wasn't enough of a warning for them because the drama only got louder from there.
Tamar.
Oh my God.
I love you, Tamar. Tamar, will you marry me?
Something told me to trust the process, and I've never done anything like this before. And what's the worst that can happen?
They got engaged just a couple weeks after meeting, which already had everybody raising their eyebrows like, for real? Some people fall fast and swear they found forever overnight, and hey, sometimes that's cool. Folks say, if you know, you know. But that vibe definitely wasn't happening here because Tamar and JR were walking, talking warning signs from day one. For starters, Tamar had already been through 2 marriages, and both of them were pure chaos. Her first marriage barely survived a year before everything fell apart, and that divorce was messy from every angle. Then she tied the knot with Vince Herbert, and they even built a whole life together. But 9 years in, right when it looked stable, Tamar dropped another divorce bomb out of nowhere. That split came with DV claims and a restraining order, turning the whole thing into drama central for a long minute. Eventually, she and Vince cooled down and focused on raising their son without letting the past ruin everything, but the emotional toll was still there. After that, Tamar moved on and started dating David Adefeso, and that situation turned into another disaster the whole internet watched unravel. When that breakup blew up, she said she was done with love and was ready to focus on herself, healing, and keeping her peace. But that promise didn't last for long. Before anybody could blink, she popped up on the reality show Queen's Court, talking about finding her dream man like the past never even happened, and the dream man she picked ended up being JR. A man who came with his own issues, his own stories, and way more complications than she expected. First thing we gotta talk about is the giant red flag flying in the sky. This man has 5 kids with 4 different mothers, and that alone tells you the situation is one spark away from blowing up. 4 different mothers in the mix is already a whole storm brewing, and stepping into that circle takes a special kind of patience, which Tamar does not pretend to have. Tamar is known for her sharp mouth, quick attitude, and that fierce side-eye and neck roll that hits harder than most arguments. So trying to hold it together around 4 other women was asking for stress on day one. She loves being front and center, and dealing with a man who has that much history was basically a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. So JR walks onto Queen Court, and instead of exploring his options like a regular contestant, he locked onto Tamar instantly, like she was the only one breathing in the room. He ignored everybody else and zoned in on her so fast it felt like he already had a plan in his back pocket. Then out of nowhere, he dropped down with a proposal after just a few weeks, and Tamar didn't even hesitate. She said yes and pushed out a couple emotional tears for the cameras. Watching two people with this many warning signs jump straight into an engagement was wild enough, but nobody expected the drama to get messy this fast. One of JR's former partners jumped on social media and dropped a whole wave of claims, saying JR was using Tamar for attention and publicity, which already had people watching the situation sideways. She also said he had a strange obsession with black women and a pattern of targeting women who were emotionally vulnerable, calling Tamar an example of that. According to her, he used to refer to himself as light-skinned white chocolate, and even joked about being the minority within the minority, which had folks confused and uncomfortable.
That's why I had to go get my man back, y'all. And I know y'all lying. If y'all thought I was gonna let my man go because he took some crackhead to a basketball game while we was broke up.
She claimed he used to hit the clubs almost every night, looking for black women to flirt with, take home, and show off like trophies, painting him as rude, arrogant, racially tone-deaf, and disrespectful in ways that didn't match who he presented himself as in public. She said he would act like he was some kind of ally or protector of black women, but she insisted that his behavior behind the scenes didn't match that image at all. Then she took it even further, accusing him of chasing a certain image by having biracial kids just to boost his ego and make himself feel more accepted in black spaces, which made the whole thing sound even messier. Fans saw that and immediately started begging Tamar to leave, saying, "Tamar, run!" because they thought JR was way more complicated than he seemed. But Tamar wasn't trying to hear none of that, which honestly shocked nobody because Tamar only listens when she's fully ready. And remember when I said those four mothers were eventually going to stir up drama? Well, it didn't take long at all before that pot started simmering. The tension kicked off as soon as Tamar went online talking nonstop about how much she adored Jeremy and his kids, and that's when things really started to unravel. You could feel the tension building the moment Tamar posted her birthday message because it sounded like she was setting the stage for some serious drama. She wrote, "It's my birthday, but I have to post the one who puts this smile on my face. It took me a while to realize that this wholesome traditional love is the kind that I wanted and needed. We have 6 children between the two of us, and they mean everything to me. So messing with that, he has 4 baby mamas. Thank God for them." The way she said it made it sound like everything was picture perfect, peaceful, and blended like a movie family. But that was not reality, not even close. From the way Tamar kept bragging about how much she adored Jeremy's kids, you'd think they all lived together in perfect harmony, singing through the house like it was a commercial, but the truth was the complete opposite. One of Jeremy's former partners was absolutely not here for Tamar acting like she had that kind of relationship with her child, and she wasn't quiet about it either. She wrote, "Let me be clear for all who know me and all who know them. This woman is in no way a bonus or stepmom to my son. My son does not mean everything to her, and she has not thanked God for me, and truthfully none of his baby mamas." She went on to say Tamar had allegedly made disrespectful comments, refused to get to know her as a mother, and even caused issues with the father's scheduled visits and birthdays. That message set everything on fire instantly because it made it clear that behind the cute social media posts, things were strained and messy. To be fair, Jeremy tried to stand by Tamar and show support, writing, "Tamar Braxton has always been an amazing mother and spoil my children with love." His words were meant to calm everything down, but instead, they just added fuel to a situation that was already starting to boil over.
Wait, what? Look like somebody might as well be the coach. All right.
He tried to play peacemaker by posting one of those calm, "let's all be adults" statements, saying, "Sometimes a difference of opinion with no conversation. Declare a miscommunication creates a bad cycle. I want everyone to be peaceful and will do my best to foster that." But even with that smooth talk, The situation behind the scenes was nothing but tension and chaos. The drama between all those former partners never slowed down, and honestly, the smartest move for Tamar would have been to step away from those dynamics completely. But she stayed locked in because she loved her man and refused to let go. She stayed beside him through humiliation, messy moments, and public embarrassment that nobody expected someone with her name to tolerate. Imagine being the sister of the legendary Tamar Braxton and still dealing with a man who treats you like you're disposable. That's the kind of situation that makes people whisper, "This is looking real desperate!" And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, things took another wild turn. JR woke up one random day and hit the internet with a breakup announcement that nobody saw coming. And he made certain everybody knew he ended it. He made sure the world understood Tamar didn't walk away. He did. His message said, "Tamar and I are no longer together. I ended the relationship to focus on getting back to positive energy and being a better person. What happened and why, that's our private place. No, I never cheated. I never cared about fame. I have always represented famous people, and the truth is I was in an amazing place financially and mentally. I turned down Queen's Court several times before I gave in. Ultimately, I fell in love, and it did not end how I wanted it. So I want to heal Tamar, and I will always be friends and family for life." He tried to package the breakup like some peaceful grown-up separation, but his wording made it sound like he was trying to clear his name before anyone could blame him. And trust me, it gets even worse from here. It turns out Tamar didn't even know she was single until the internet told her, because JR didn't bother to break up with her face-to-face or even send a basic text. He let the world find out at the same time she did, which was already cold, but the timing made it even worse. He ended things the exact same hour her home and her car were vandalized, turning an already stressful moment into something unbelievable. Tamar wrote, "Imagine your home being robbed, move into a new city, trying to find your new tribe, never finding where you fit in, and then finally settling in with at least one person you trust to get in your car, robbed and vandalized, then broken up with from the person you love and feel safe with all in the same hour is too much." That message hit hard because it showed how overwhelmed she really was. She followed up with a video addressing everything, denying that she caused the breakup and saying she had been genuinely trying to grow and be a better person. You could tell she wanted people to know she wasn't the one who blew things up. Then JR noticed the internet wasn't rocking with him, and he suddenly tried to flip the narrative. He tried to present himself like he was calm, caring, and rooting for Tamar, even though he'd just blindsided her. He posted, "Dallas, get ready for the one and only Tamar Bra, send the love and light. Thank you, Tamar, for being super supportive during an incredibly difficult time." He was trying hard to look supportive, but the timing made everything look suspicious. He tried to clean things up by posting a message that sounded sweet on the surface, saying, "You are not a negative and horrible person. You are a blessing to the world and have always been nothing short of supporting and uplifting." It didn't seem harsh at first glance, but people still squinted at it like, "Why you gotta phrase it like that?" The whole thing felt off because saying someone is not negative and horrible low-key hints that the public has been thinking it, which made the compliment feel sneaky. Fans couldn't ignore the weird tone, and many felt like he was tossing shade wrapped in kindness.
Oh, hey, 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 hey.
Folks were wondering why he was even bringing it up again when the drama had already cooled down. It was giving trying to stay in the spotlight energy, like he couldn't resist stirring the pot again. Tamar didn't let that slide either. She fired back with her own message and put her emotions front and center. She wrote, "I can't believe I'm going on my love and war tour. So broken people do things on purpose just to see you hurt. Misleading is abuse and a pattern. I'm so stupid. After so much hurt. At some point, you have to get the strength to close the chapter. What a fool I was." Her words were raw, heavy, and showed just how betrayed she felt. You would think she'd use that moment to walk away quietly, take her loss in peace, and leave the whole JR situation behind. But Tamar did the complete opposite. She doubled back like nothing happened, acting real messy and stepping right back into that connection, even though it was clear he was playing mind games. And while she was trying to convince herself things would be different, JR was already outside. Just a few days after the breakup went public, he was spotted stepping out with Tommy Lee, someone who has well-known tension with Tamar. That move didn't just look messy, it looked intentional. Tommy was moving real shady, because just days before she and JR were spotted together, she had already clashed with Tamar. Remember when Chrisian got into that wild fight at Tamar's concert? Tommy jumped in quick with accusations, claiming Tamar was trying to use Christian for clout, which already had everybody looking sideways. So when Tommy suddenly popped up with JR right after that, at a public event no less, it was pretty clear they were both trying to get under Tamar's skin on purpose. And the worst part, it actually worked. Because next thing the internet knew, Tamar was right back with JR, acting like none of that drama even happened. They were seen together at a football game, looking cozy, like it was some teenage love triangle storyline. It felt like a whole high school situation playing out on a national stage. That moment was Tamar sending a loud message straight to Tommy. Don't play with her man, period. But the reaction online wasn't cute. People were disappointed because Tamar had already told the world how badly JR treated her, how messy he could be, and how he even linked up with someone who openly disliked her. Folks couldn't understand why she ran back into the same chaos. And then there was JR's former partner who had already warned everyone that he liked stirring up tension between black women and turning them against each other. Watching Tommy and Tamar get pulled into the same messy loop made that warning feel even more real. It looked like JR was using both of them as pieces in his own drama show, and Tamar either didn't notice or refused to care because she wanted the last laugh. She probably thought getting back with JR would bother Tommy again, but it backfired fast. Tommy threw Tamar under the bus instantly, making it clear that she and JR were definitely involved and that Tamar had walked herself right back into the middle of the same mess she claimed she was done with. Tommy even came with receipts and dropped screenshots proving that JR asked her to go to that game before he asked Tamar. And according to her, the only reason Tamar got the invite at all was because Tommy couldn't make it. That alone was enough to spark a whole meltdown. But Tamar brushed it off like it wasn't a thing. Instead, she hopped on stage at her concert and proudly announced that she and JR were back together. And of course, that pushed Tommy over the edge. She went live and started calling out Tamar all over again, claiming JR had been real close with her and wasn't nearly as loyal as he pretended. She hinted at situations that suggested he was acting way too familiar with her, keeping it messy without getting graphic. Then she dropped another bomb, saying JR had been telling her personal business about Tamar behind her back. Imagine your own partner sitting up there spilling your private moments to somebody who openly doesn't rock with you. Just wild behavior. That should have been Tamar's cue to walk away instantly because no healthy relationship moves like that. But if there's one pattern we've seen, it's that Tamar struggles to let a relationship go, even when the signs are flashing bright. It's like she feels she needs someone by her side no matter what. And that mindset keeps pulling her into situations that hurt her again and again. So instead of leaving JR like anybody else would have done after all this chaos, guess what she did? She went and married him. Yes, married.
What is wrong with the situation is that that is your man, as you call it. That is your man. He knew it was a situation with me and you. And he was down. He was down to play op games. I wouldn't take nothing like that serious, my love. That ate my... and I sent him on his way. It wasn't...
The whole thing was shocking, but at least she kept it quiet and did it in secret because she knew the internet would have dragged her nonstop if she tried to have a big public wedding with all this drama swirling around. And here's the wild part. It's not just fans who can't stand this relationship. Tamar's own family has been against it from the jump. Reports say Tony has been the most vocal one, warning Tamar over and over that JR is nothing but trouble, but Tamar doesn't listen to anybody except herself, no matter how loud the signs are. The Braxton sisters recently launched a new reality show where they're opening up about losing their sister Tracy and how they've been coping. But somewhere in those conversations, Tamar and her relationship came up, and the whole family made it clear they didn't support it at all. That pushed Tamar over the edge instantly. She hit Twitter in full meltdown mode, clapping back at her sisters like they were strangers on the internet. She dragged them, saying they were jealous of her fairy tale life with her so-called Prince Charming. She wrote, "You'll have no idea, none. The gaslighting is crazy and I'm going back into treatment. Oh my gosh, I pray that my marriage can be saved and my life can be spared. My family is awful. JR means the world to me. Like, thank God for him. My husband and my children have saved my life, but I'm so mad at my life. My family is toxic. I should have never went back to BFV. Never, y'all. I'm going through it. I'm single and sad, and this TV stuff is a lot." Her messages were emotional, desperate, and showed just how tangled everything had become. The fact that she married JR after all the public embarrassment and chaos had people stunned. But at the end of the day, she's grown and free to choose whoever she wants to be with. even if everyone else thinks it's a mistake.
You don't want me to expose how you were saying that you kicked her out and she went back to her mother's house? Not Mrs. Braxton, not Mrs. Singer with the sold out tour that JR also told me was flex. It was cap. It was she flexing. She don't have no sold out. Between me and you was his exact words. The tour not sold out. He said you was messy. He said you went back to your mother's house. He told me a lot of things that he shouldn't tell a stranger. I just met this man less than a week.
She also turned her frustration toward fans, accusing people online of spreading negativity and pushing too many opinions. She wrote, "I think it's funny when I post something negative, it goes viral." That comment showed she felt attacked, misunderstood, and overwhelmed by the constant attention. Tamar kept venting online, saying, "When I post something positive, no one pays attention. Y'all prove me right on what y'all want from me. Why can't I be healthy and healed? Y'all was waiting for my life to fall apart. Jeremy is and has been the most positive person in my life, and my best friend and family, and y'all want me to say something bad about him so bad." Her message was emotional and intense, and it showed she felt cornered and unheard. But according to an insider, Tamar isn't seeing things clearly and refuses to admit the relationship is basically done. The source claimed JR has allegedly been unfaithful in every direction with anyone who gave him attention, and he wasn't apologetic about any of it. Tamar supposedly tried to look past everything because she didn't want to feel like she had failed again, but JR was already checked out and ended things weeks ago, which explains her emotional posts online. Fans didn't hold back either. One person said, "Tamar needs to leave that man alone forever. Stop going back and forth with that man. He's embarrassed her enough. She could do better." Another wrote, "I don't want to hear about her colonizer again. Her ancestors did not fight for freedom for her to go back and forth with that guy." Someone else added, "Tamar Braxton is a simple, silly ad bird. She needs to leave that man alone and seek real help. Dang near 50, still acting like a child over D and throwing your family under the bus when you just lost a sister. She's sick in the head and I think Tamar has a lot of issues. However, these men be cloud chasers and just as toxic. I'm surprised so many people are defending the man with 5 baby mamas who really didn't do anything on the show to show he was a good guy." People were split between calling out Tamar's choices and calling out JR's pattern of messy behavior. It was a whole storm, and Tamar ended up caught in the middle of all of it, overwhelmed and fighting battles from every direction. This entire situation has turned into one huge chaotic saga, and honestly, it's sad watching someone spiral while still trying to convince the world that everything is fine. But now I need to know what you think. Do you believe Tamar will ever pull herself out of this mess, or is she going to slide right back into the same cycle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the tea. Leave your comment and tell me what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.